Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina from Venezuela, my prometida, actually my esposa, ahora. Ahora mi esposa. My beautiful wife from Venezuela, she went through the green card processing, she went through the K1 visa processing, just like you guys. She had her scary K1 visa interview at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia. Even though Karina's from Venezuela, her interview was at the embassy in Bogota on November 16th of 2023. And she got her green card in her hand on June 25th, 2024. And she got the work permit about 88 days after we applied for her green card. And then she got her green card about a month, 3 weeks or a month after she got her work permit. So in my mind, it's a waste of money paying for the work permit because you're going to get your green card anyway right after that. The green card is good for working in the United States, traveling. You're a permanent resident, and it's conditional. It's conditional to your green card. Okay, the work permit's not. It's only good for working, and it's not good for traveling on. Uno Mikey is in the house. What's going on, Uno Mikey? Today is August 31st, 2024. It's just a minute past 6 p.m. Central Time, U.S. Central Time. And it's 87 degrees outside here in the Panhandle of Florida. And Karina just endured her first real warm summer in Florida. She said that June and July were probably the hottest months. I figured August was going to be pretty hot, but she said June and July were the hottest for her. So there you go. But she's good. She's working. She has her green card. Everything's going well. And we want to see you get your green card. We want to see you get your K1 visa approved and get your future husband or wife into the United States so you can start your lives together. We don't want to see you separated. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice, okay? I don't work for USCIS or any of those companies that charge a lot of money, okay, for processing this paperwork. The paperwork's very easy to do. If you watch the videos I've made for you guys for free, you don't have to pay anybody to do this, okay? Larry Piery on board still for September 3rd at 1700. Yes, Larry, we will see you at 1700 hours on September 3rd. Not a problem. We look forward to seeing you. I want to go over your green card application very carefully, okay, and give you my input. And I will tell you whether it's good or not. If it's good, I'll tell you it's good to go. If it's not, I'll explain to you where to make any corrections. But I'm pretty sure you're going to be top of the class and you'll be perfectly fine and get a good grade. Have you heard 2-year green card appointments or rumor? What do you mean 2-year green card appointments? Never heard of such a thing. Why would there be a 2-year green card appointment? Okay, if you put together a strong, let's suppose they change it to where you got to have to go to another scary visa interview at your 2-year green card. Number one, immigration don't have the manpower immigration don't have the manpower to do that. Okay, they don't have the people. And number two, if you can put together a strong application to lift the conditions off your 2-year green card for a 10-year green card, you will be perfectly fine and you will not have to go to an interview. If you're in a real relationship, everything's good, you've been together for a long time, you got all this evidence, then you're good to go. But I have not heard of anything. I have not heard of people going in for a green card interview from their 2-year to their green card. Never heard of it till now. So it's news to me. But if it happens, it happens, and don't even worry about it. If your relationship is real, you put together if you lift the conditions off the 2-year green card, okay, I'll make a video. I've made videos about that. Then you won't go to another interview. I mean, immigration have got better things to do than interview you guys. Okay? They got better things to do. But, if they don't trust you, if they don't believe you're in a real relationship, the immigration has a right to look at you again and talk to you face to face. Okay? They can do that. But I haven't heard of such a thing. It's news to me. I got my Venezuelan hat on. A salute to everybody in Venezuela. Don't forget, if you're watching me from Venezuela, if you're watching Karina and I from Venezuela, there's a $15 million bounty on the head of the president of Venezuela, the communist dictator Nicolas Maduro, okay, the donkey. There's a $15 million bounty on his head. If you can catch him or arrest him, the U.S. government will pay you $15 million. I think they should double that to $30 million, just my opinion. Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. Happy weekend. Disfruta do fin de semana. Thank you, Francois. That's a Mountain Dew salute. Francois gets the first Mountain Dew salute. Let me see. Larry Piercy, putting all in envelopes, no highlighting or certain things. Well, first a Mountain Dew salute to Francois. Francois is in upstate New York. It's going to be cold up there soon. We'll do for you will go after Maduro for $1 million. Now let's double that to $30 million. $30 million. I don't know why anybody hasn't gone after him yet. I mean, just my opinion. Larry Piercy, no checks. Esteban Obi Lawrence, thank you for what you do. Hey, no problem. We're going to help you get your green card. We're going to help you get your K-1 visa. We're going to get, or your spousal visa, whether you're going through that or whatever it is. Okay, we're going to help you for free. Uno Mikey, should I just go ahead and schedule my medical doctor and biometrics since I got my spouse visa interview October 8th? I have all the documents beside the list of travel papers. Go ahead, Uno Mikey, go get that done. Get it done. That's correct. Francois, what an honor, but what did I do for the Mountain Dew salute? What did you do for the Mountain Dew salute? Well, you wished us a happy weekend. Fin de semana de fruta, is it correct? Or all three? Disfruta de fin de semana. So you get a Mountain Dew salute for that. Let me see. Ajali, good evening, Diego and Kuna. Happy Labor Day weekend, and to you also. Well, hopefully they get this process moving, and my wait will be over. We hope so. So what we do for Ajali is we always do the pixie dust. We throw the pixie dust all over your process, okay? And Francois says hello to Ajali. Adriano Muro. Hi, Diego. My fiance had K-1 visa approved in Senegal since April 30th. So May, June, July. So that's 4 months. And she never got her passport back until now. So she got her passport back, what, today? With her K-1 visa in it? Adriana, be more specific. Is that what you're telling us? She got that the passport was returned today with the visa in it. Larry Piercy, we're all just about seniors in your classroom. We need some freshmen in here. That's correct. We're the senior class. We're the graduating class, right? We're the senior class. We need some freshmen. Larry Piercy, I worry about my wife dying because of the large difference. You worrying about your wife dying? She just got here, man. She's not going to die. Chris and Emma, Pixie Dust, my fiance will be November 7th. She'll be doing scary interview in late October. So here's the Pixie Dust for you. And Larry Piercy's, we're talking about age now. The age difference. You protect your wife for the future, right? You got it covered, right? Adriana, she never got her passport back. So it's been 4 months and she hasn't got her passport back. Contact the embassy and ask them what's going on. Contact the embassy, ask them. Email the embassy, call, email, whatever you can do. Find out what's going on. Francois, Ajali, for real. My fiance interview is September 18th. Chris and Emma, she will fly in November 7th in Mississippi. Well, hopefully by November 7th, we'll have a new president. Right? New president. Larry Pierce, I think Butters is eavesdropping. Francois Diego, sprinkle lots of pixie dust for Ajali and her fiance. I always do, guys. This is for you guys. Okay? The pixie dust. So you're going to get this thing over with. And Chris Nemo, you already got the tickets. Well, that's good. Very good. Very good. Larry Piercy, no, not a new president, a great second term. Yeah, he's going to be on his second term. He lost the election because of all the shenanigans that went on. Well, he didn't lose the election. He actually won it for the second time. But you know what happens when you got computers, you know, you can change numbers, but this time around it's going to be too big to rig, right? In my opinion. So it's going to be a great second term. That's correct. And then J.D. Vance will be continuing on with Trump's ideas, I'm sure. That's why he picked him as the vice president, right? Hopefully he's going to keep on keeping on, get our country back on track, get taxes lowered, get interest rates down, get the government out of our freaking lives, right? Let me see. Merger Transport. In Frankfurt, the whole process lasted 10 months. I live in Missouri. We applied January 21. She got her interview October. Hey, well, Merger, that's a Mountain Dew salute. That's great. And Missouri, beautiful state, great state of Missouri. Mountain Dew salute. Ajali to Francois, keep us in prayers. And Larry Piercy, Venezuela County. Yeah, when Trump gets in office, which I'm sure he's going, I'm sure he's going to win. I mean, looking at the way things are going, I don't know. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I just want my country back from all this tyranny, all these taxes, and I want to see Venezuela free. I want to see Venezuela. I want Maduro to pack his suitcase and go find someplace else to live, like Cuba, and get the heck out of Venezuela so the country can be restored back to freedom. Adriano, can I schedule an appointment at theembassy.com and go there? Can you schedule a K1 visa interview at theembassy.com and go there? I don't know if a sponsor can accompany the beneficiary to the visa interview in Senegal, but I'll find out. But if you can schedule the visa interview, that's what you need to do. Uno Mikey, do I need to create an account for an interview with the Embassy of Bogota? Well, if you are in a spousal visa, the MVC should already have scheduled the visa interview for you. So all you got to do is get the biometrics scheduled and the medical exam. That's all you got to do. The MVC should already have created an account for you because aren't you on a spousal visa? Larry Piercy, I don't pray Ajali. Chris and Emma, it is better for her to pick up the visa instead of mail. It's up to you. I would. Karina and we went in person and picked up her passport in Bogota, in person. Okay, you don't want immigration mailing your passport in a foreign country. You don't know how the mail system is, for one thing. Larry Piercy, I have hope and joy. Harris gets a job like laying floors or something. Nah, she needs to go back to her fantasy job of working in McDonald's, because apparently she worked at McDonald's, but nobody can find any proof that she ever worked there. So that's interesting. Not that it's important or anything, but whatever. Uno Mikey, yeah. Official U.S. Department of State Visa Appointment Service, Colombia. Right. Didn't the MVC schedule you a visa interview for your wife because you're on a spousal visa? Didn't they do that already? Norman Williams, I think there is something wrong with the new website. I have been unable to schedule my fiancé interview for Ghana Embassy. My case number hasn't been working. Well, you need to stay in touch with the embassy for one thing, because you got to make sure the embassy knows you're trying to schedule an appointment. I would send them an email, check in with them, and print the email as evidence that you are maintaining contact. Larry Piercy, she knows work on the floors. Yeah. K Messenger, hola Diego and Karina, ¿qué tal? Muy bien, ¿y tú? Ustedes, green card biometrics done. For your information, I accompanied my wife to complete the biometrics. 23 minutes in and out. Mountain Dew salute to K Messenger. Congratulations. Now the biometrics are done. Mountain Dew salute. Now the biometrics are done. Things are going to start moving, okay, on your green card application. Chris and Emma, Larry Piercy, when is your next Roadhouse steak visit with Ross? Ross? Who's Ross? Ross is my dad. My dad lives in Thailand. Chris and Emma. Uno Mikey, yes they did, and it's on October 8th. Okay, but I thought they wanted me just to make an account with them. It's not necessary. You can if you want, but for what? For what reason? Why do you need to do that? I mean, you could do that because then you'll know when the passport is ready for pickup, right? Right? Because they're going to send you an email anyway. But if you have an account with the SEAC, you can look at the status. Once your wife has her visa interview, you can look up on the account, and you'll be able to know when to pick up the passport. Well, she will. Well, you can go together. I don't know if you're going to fly out there. You know, it's Bogota, Colombia is a great place to go for a visit, for a vacation. Go accompany her to the United States. So good job, Uno Mikey. You got the appointment scheduled for October 8th. All you got to do is the biometrics and the medical exam. That's it. Josias Pacelli, our friend from Argentina, living in where are you at? In Utah? Where do you live? Hi, Diego. I have a question. Tengo una pregunta. So my wife moved to an apartment and she got a lease for herself months after I moved, and they made a joint lease with my name and my wife's name, but they made the lease. When I came to the United States and my wife was living there months before that, should I just put both lease, my wife lease and our joint lease, just the joint lease, because they have different dates of movement to the residence, just the joint one. The latest one, the latest and the greatest is all you need. Josias, come on, man. Let's give you a Mountain Dew. Let's give the president of Argentina a Mountain Dew salute for one. Not so much the president of Brazil, because the president of Brazil has blocked Elon Musk X from transmitting in Brazil. Talk about censorship and communism at its highest. Brazil has turned into a freaking socialist country. If you disagree with Elon Musk and his opinions on not censoring stuff, okay, you don't block the whole freaking country. So they need a new president in Brazil sooner rather than later. And Elon Musk is doing a fantastic job with Starlink and with Tesla and with X. So if I was Elon Musk, I would stop selling Teslas to Brazil, and I would cut off all the Starlink internet connections over Brazil and see how they like that. Just my opinion. Uno Mikey, how far apart should I schedule the medical and biometrics? 2 weeks before. The medical exam and the biometrics, you want to schedule them 2 weeks before the scary visa interview. Larry Piercy, Mogi is looking forward to seeing Karina. Oh, okay, Karina, we'll see. We're same here. She said the same. Josias, Diego, we got an employer letter in January of 2024 from my wife. Do we need a new one for the green card? She didn't change the job or the position. Now you can use the same letter. Use the same letter. K Messenger, hello Diego. Approximately how long should we anticipate a response from USCIS? The forms we sent were 262 documents in the application. I just made a video. It's about 30 seconds long on the processing time for green cards. Okay, it's about 4 to 6 months if you don't get an RFE. Okay, if you get an RFE or if there's any errors, then it could take 9 months or longer. Francois Livingston, Diego, thank you for the recent updated videos on the checklist for the K1 visa and the green card videos you posted on YouTube. They were very helpful information. Well, we're glad to help. Francois, I got to keep everybody up to date on what's going on. Okay, I do the live streams and then I make videos. And I'll make new videos in September. I just got to come up with new ideas. I've pretty much made a video for every single process in the K1 visa green card application. So I'll just maybe redo some videos and update them. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Josias, another thing I saw in internet that confused, it was this doubt. Do I have to send passport style photos of the sponsor's wife for the adjustment of status, or just me, the beneficiary? Oh, I didn't know. You don't have to send a picture of the sponsor. When Karina applied for her green card, she just sent in her picture she sent in 2 pictures. One of the green card and one for the work permit. Do you inclusive for me photo into green card application? No, I didn't. We didn't put my picture in there. No, I'm not applying for anything. I'm an American citizen. I already got my passport. It's not necessary. But you do have to include the sponsor's picture for the K1 visa. Okay, when you submit the K1 visa application, the sponsor has to include his or her passport photo in the K1 visa application. Okay, then they do a biometric scan of the picture to make sure you say who you say you are. Okay. Josias, by the fact my friend kept telling me that I will be undocumented and out of status when my I-94 expires. That's not true, because I haven't sent the adjustment of status yet. That's not true. My I-94 expires in September and I haven't sent the adjustment of status yet. You're not going to be out of status if you don't send it within 90 days. Okay? But you want to get it done. The longer you wait submitting your green card application, the longer it's going to take to get it. But you're not going to be out of status. If you don't file your green card application within 90 days, you are not out of status. You're good. K Messenger, I did watch your video, but based on your experience, how many days did the process take from biometrics till receiving your green card? From biometrics to receiving green card, biometric was in Marzo. So it was 3 months. Karina got her green card 3 months from her biometrics interview in New Orleans, and then when she got her green card. 3 months, 12 weeks. Thank you. We only applied for a green card. Right. So it took Karina 3 months. She went to her biometrics in New Orleans. I drove her to New Orleans, and we went to the biometrics. I sat in the waiting room just waiting. But it was only like 5 minutes. She was in and out of there. Boom. Hey, look at that. K Messenger. Man, look at that. Super chat from K Messenger. That's awesome, man. We appreciate you. That's a Mountain Dew salute. K Messenger. Now, K Messenger, you came from Mexico. You got your prometida from Mexico. That was a great adventure for you. I think I've been to Mexico probably, 5 or 6 times. And thank you, K Messenger. We appreciate that. But I've been to Mexico. I've been to Nogales. I've been to Cozumel. Mexico's a beautiful country. And Josias, you are not going to be out of status if you don't file for your green card after your I-94 expires. You're not going to be out of status, but you got to file for your green card. Okay, you got to get it done. Josias, she sent me some documents from a lawyer, but I did a deep investigation because some of them says that the best thing to do is send the adjustment of status before the I-94 expires. You can send it before the I-94 expires. That's the best thing to do, because that way you get your green card quicker. But you're not going to be out of status if you don't. Some people don't have the money to pay for their freaking green card. They got to save up. It's a lot of money. $1,400, $1,440 is a lot of money. Some folks can't just pull that out of their bank. So it may take them 3 or 4 months to save it up. You're not going to be out of status if you don't file for the green card within 90 days. You will be out of status if you don't get married within 90 days. K Messenger, thanks as always. No, thank you. Thank you for that. We appreciate you. You know, I'm trying to save you guys thousands of dollars in immigration attorney fees. That's a lot of money to pay an immigration attorney, but the process isn't difficult. Uno Mike, I'm booking my wife's flight to Bogota for Thursday. What do we need to reserve the biometrics appointment? Number 1, don't book any flights from Bogota to the United States until she has her green card, her visa, and her passport. Don't book any plane tickets. Don't do that. Wait until you get the freaking passport back from the embassy. When you check the passport and you check the visa and everything's good, there's no errors or it's going to be direct green card processing, then buy the plane ticket. Okay? Don't be in a big hurry to buy the plane ticket. It's not difficult to buy a freaking plane ticket from Bogota to Miami. Go to El Dorado Airport or go online, but we went to El Dorado face to face. We went down to El Dorado International Airport, got in line with Avianca. I slapped my credit card down and I bought freaking plane tickets. It's easy, but not until we get the K1 visas. Once the K1 visa, we checked Karina's K1 visa, was no problems with it. That's when we bought the plane tickets. Okay. Chris and Emma, I-129F application has the Ohio address, but when I moved back to Mississippi, I had the address changed. When she does her interview, will she say the new address or the old address? The new address, which is going to be on the I-134. You filled out an I-134 Declaration of Financial Support. You put your new address on there, right? That's the address you're going to use. Larry Piercy, Diego, please don't forget to give me New Orleans address. Please remember. It's 1250 Poydras Street, New Orleans, right? Isn't it 1250 for the biometrics? It's 1250 Poydras Street, New Orleans. There you go. Osias, Diego, another thing for the sponsor's affidavit of support. That's Form 864. USCIS cares the most about the last tax return. That's correct. My wife made $9,000 in 2021, $60,000 in 2022, and $22,000 in 2023, and now she's making $37,000. Get a joint sponsor. Get a joint sponsor. Okay? Get a joint sponsor. It's not difficult. And a joint sponsor is going to fill out the I-864 and provide the last tax return, the tax transcript, bank statements, pay stubs, etc. Yes, Osiris, you need a joint sponsor. Francois, does it take too long to add the future husband on the deed? No. It was easy for us. We went down to the county office and they did it. It was like $10, I think. It seems that I can't add Hamid on anything without him being on the deed. Right. When he gets to the United States, first thing you want to do is get him a social security number. Then you want to get married. And once you get married, then you get the social security number, the marriage certificate, and his passport, and put him on the deed. K Messenger, you say it. I can't say that. Is in the mountains, 8,300 feet above sea level. Beautiful place, Mexico and Texas, that place. I have calculated based on my due diligence, you have saved us a minimum $6,000 to $7,000. Well, that's a Mountain Dew salute. So we saved K Messenger, let's say $6,500. Let's split the difference. That money you can use for down payment on a house, on a car, a vacation. Mountain Dew salute, K Messenger. That I'm glad to hear. I'm glad we saved you that kind of money. Chris and Emil, I used ASAP tickets to form up my tickets. I just saved $400. So you save $400, but what if there's a delay on the K1 visa? What happens if there's a delay on getting it issued? Can you change the flight schedule? I don't know. Francois, I wish I am in a position to fly out now to be with Hamid's side till the interview, but I can't. We understand, Francois. But September is like tomorrow. In about 6 hours, it's going to be September, right? And then you're going to be just 18 days away, and we're going to be with you the whole step of the way. And when you get back to the United States with Hamid, we're going to help you put the green card package together. So we're going to be with you every step of the way, Francois. It's only 18 freaking days. All right? You can do it. It's not long. It's going to go by just like that. I was separated from Karina for, 11, 12 months. It was horrible. But you know what? I kept busy, and the time went by quick. Bud Garcia. Hello, Diego and Karina from Washington State. What's up, Bud? Now, Bud Garcia's prometida is from Thailand, right? She's in the United States now, I believe, or she's coming soon, right? Very soon, from Thailand. Uno Mike, I'm talking about buying a plane ticket to go from Medellin to Bogota. Okay, I got you. Now you explain it to me. To go set up the appointment for the medical and the biometrics. I'm trying to see what documents to bring to set up the biometrics. The documents you need for the biometrics is her passport and the DS-160. Well, you're on a spousal visa. It's going to be a DS-260. So you need the marriage certificate, the passport, and the DS-260. That's what you need for the biometrics. I understand now, Uno Maki. Excuse me, I wasn't getting fully understanding what you're trying to tell me. Now I understand what you're telling me. But your wife needs her DS-260 for the biometrics, and her passport, and the marriage certificate if you have it with her. Josias, Diego, do I have to fill a whole new I-864 form for the joint sponsor? Yes. He probably got to be my father-in-law. Yes. Your father-in-law must fill out the I-864 completely and sign it. Francois, Sunday Hardies, that's definite. Thank you for that super chat, Francois. Francois has kept us in big breakfast at Hardies forever. Mountain Dew salute. Karina likes the bacon big breakfast at Hardies, and it comes with gravy and a biscuit. It's great. It tastes really good. Karina never had that before. She had no idea what the heck was a biscuit and gravy. She had no clue what it was. And yesterday we tried boiled peanuts in the hot dog. She didn't like the boiled peanuts that are hot. Okay, the hot boiled peanuts in water, like boiled up. She didn't like that. So then I bought her peanuts that were in the bag, not they're dry. In Espanol, seco. So she likes those. Another super chat from Francois. Hardy's Part 2. There you go. Excellent. Francois, you're going to be in Abu Dhabi very soon. Why don't you get your suitcase and pack it? Start packing your suitcase and check it and see what you're going to be bringing with you to the United Arab Emirates. Josias, just add him in the same 864 primary sponsor, my wife. No. He's got to fill out an I-864 and sign it completely. You're going to have two I-864s, one from your wife and one from your father-in-law. Two. There's going to be two. Chris and Emil, yes, it will be changed. Right. On the 134, that's what you're going to work. That's all you're going to worry about. Josias, Diego, how do I get a W-2 in the USA? My wife doesn't know exactly. How do you get a W-2 in the USA? You go to work. When you get your green card in your hand, Josias, listen to me, escúchame, por favor. ¿Español bien? Escúchame palabras. Cuando tú traes en tu mano, tú buscas trabajo. Tú comienzas trabajo, compañía paga tu dinero. ¿Sí? ¿Entiendes? And then in enero 2025, compañía creation W-2 para ti. That's how it works. And then you file a joint tax return with your wife. Bud Garcia, on the 26th, you're going to go get her on the 26th. Okay, very good. Josias, she has a summary of W-2s in the tax return copy. Well, you got to have the best thing to do is just get the tax transcripts, okay? But you got to have the original W-2s and make a photocopy of it. Don't send the original W-2s. Make copies. Is that enough to show the W-2s? No, you got to get the W-2s. They're on a piece of paper. You get four, and one is for the federal tax return, one's for your local tax return, your state tax return if you have to live in a state that decides to screw you out of your money. Like if you live in New Mexico, you got to pay a state income tax, and then a copy for you, and then a third, and there's a fourth copy. I can't remember who that's for. Okay, but if you when you get a job, Josias, in January, the company you work for will issue you a W-2. Your wife needs to get her W-2s together, okay, also, and your joint sponsor, he needs to get his W-2s also. Uno Mikey, what will she need? What will she need? Uno Mikey, what will she need? For the biometrics, the DS-260, her passport, the marriage certificate. That's all. For medical, for her medical exam, she's going to need her vaccination records, so the doctor can look over her vaccination records. She's going to need. You're going to need the evidence of the visa interview being scheduled by the National Visa Center. You got to print the email where you have the scheduled visa interview. The National Visa Center has scheduled the visa interview for your wife in Bogota. You got to print that email. The doctor needs to see that. Okay? The doctor needs to see proof of your wife's visa interview at the embassy in Bogota, plus the vaccination records.
Photos.
Huh? And photos. You got to get photos. How many? 2? Dos? You need 4 pictures too. 4 photos. And they got to be not the passport photos. They got to be a little bit bigger than the passport photos. The passport photos are a little bit small. So you got to get 4 pictures in black and white or color.
Sí, blanco. Son indicaciones.
Negro, blanco, in black and white.
A color, pero
or color.
Son indicaciones en su correo.
Right, because they're going to be the information's in. Karina said the information should have been in the email that you received on what kind of pictures. You got to get 4 photos, okay, for the medical exam. 4 pictures. They're a special size. They're a little bit bigger than a passport photo. Let me see. Larry Piercy, boiled peanuts or vomito. I like them. Francois flying out in the 25th of September. Okay. So he's going to have his visa interview on the 18th of September. And then you're going to fly out there on the 25th. That's great. That's good news, Francois. Larry Piercy's talking to Bud. Larry Piercy, you are funny beyond belief. Larry Piercy, Francois, you will pay LOL and we will be here. Francois, Diego, did you say that it's okay to copy the original birth certificate and submit that for the green card? Yes, it's perfectly fine to do that. You can do that. Perfectly fine. Josias, how does she get the W-2s original? The company she worked for should have given them to her in January of last year or January of this year. In January of 2024, the company she works for should have issued your wife a W-2. Where is it? They were issued to her. It either comes in the mail. I don't get a W-2. I get a 1099, which is basically the same thing, but a different process. It comes to me in the mail. If your wife works for a company, they should have given it to her in an envelope. Here's your W-2. She lost them and doesn't know where she can put them. Well, I don't know what to tell you. She could. The W-2s are generated by the company that she works for. She needs to ask the company that she works for if they can resubmit or redo her W-2. Just ask the business where she works. That's all you can do. Or you could try to get a copy of your tax return from the IRS. You could do that because the IRS will have it. Call the IRS and ask them if they can give you a copy of the tax return for last year. Francois, good luck to you and Bud Garcia and your fiance. You are right, Larry. Boiled peanuts are nasty. Nobody likes boiled peanuts. I like boiled peanuts. They're hot, and you break them open, and you stick them, and then you get the shell, and you throw it on a plate. I like them. Let me see. Let's not miss anybody's question. Bud Garcia, thank you, Francois Hosais. She doesn't have original W-2s of 2021, but she does have the original W-2s of 2022 and 2023. Is it going to be a problem? No. Because you don't have, when you file for the green card, when you file for your green card, Hosais, you don't have to include tax returns or W-2s for 2021 or 2022. You just got to write in the block how much money your wife made in 2021 and 2022, right here. Let me show you, okay? When you fill out the I-864, it's only 10 pages. It's a very easy form. Right here, okay? Right here, if you can see it. I'm trying to figure out the camera. Total income, okay? The most recent tax year, the second most recent, and the third most recent. But you got to provide the 1040 and the W-2 for the most recent tax return and include it in the green card application. You don't have to include the 1040 or the W-2s for the last two recent tax returns. Only the most recent, okay? So don't be having a panic attack. It's not difficult. So your wife's going to know how much she made, right? Your wife knows how much she made in 2021 and 2022. All she has to do is write it in there. 2023, she's got to produce the 1040 and the tax transcript and the W-2. So it's not a problem, Hosais. There's no problem if she doesn't have her 2022 and 2021 tax returns, except there's no problem. Larry Piercy, Bud Francois is loaded for bear. Francois, Diego, the email I got from the medical center where the medical exam will be stated for Hamid. Let me see here. Let me see. Diego, the email I got from the medical center where the medical exam will be stated for Hamid to go to bring 2 passport pics. So he went and got 8. Okay, that's fine. So the doctor's office in United Arab Emirates is asking for passport size pictures. In Bogota, Colombia, the photos have to be a bit bigger and they have to be 4. Remember, every doctor, every medical doctor, civil surgeon around the world is contracted with the US government, but they run their doctor's offices individually. Okay? So 5 of them. Okay. That's okay. So the doctor in the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, the beautiful, beautiful UAE, the folks over there are beautiful people. The doctor needs 5 pictures. Passport size photos. Very good. In U.S. Embassy in the medical doctor, Dr. Dennis in Bogota, Colombia, requires 4 pictures in black and white, and they have to be a little bit bigger than a passport size photo. Oh, in color, excuse me, not in black and white, in color. So color photos, not black and white. And you don't wear a hat, don't wear sunglasses, and if you got earbuds, take them out. You got to be straight, the face with no hat. Hosais, Diego, you are really big help. That's why we're here. Does my wife need the last 8 pay stubs or the last 5? The last 6. I'll jump in the middle there. The last 6 pay stubs, okay? Hosais. So Mountain Dew salute to everybody for hanging in there with me during this live stream on the last day of August of 2024. We know the process is stressful. We know it's long. It's you don't know what's going on sometimes. Lots of people, they file their K-1 visas and they don't hear from immigration. They get their NOA-1 letter and then they don't hear from immigration for 6, 7 months, 8 months. People are not accustomed to being ignored, right? When you submit something, you're expecting a response, right? Immigration doesn't work that way. And then some people, they get worried that immigration has forgotten about them. They lost my package. They lost my green card application. They're not doing this. Guys, immigration is a slow process. The K-1 visa and the green card application process is a very minute part of immigration, a very small part of it, okay? USCIS is a huge conglomerate of a company ran by Homeland Security. It's massive. They're covering everything from fraud investigations to asylum seekers to student visas to diplomatic visas. Think about the diplomatic visas they got to process. It's not just K1s. Let me see here. Bud Garcia, from what I have seen, the interview is easy if you both know each other, Francois. That's right. Queen and I lived together. We lived together for 2.5 years, basically, in Colombia. She knows everything about me. I mean, I know everything about her. I know everything about her family. I know everything about her mom. I even know, her. I've met all of her family except for her mom and dad and her sister. I haven't met her sister, tu hermana in Venezuela. I didn't meet her yet. Why? I can't go to Venezuela because it's ran by a freaking commie dictator who doesn't like Americans. Let me tell you there was some folks from Colombia that flew from the Ukraine and landed in Venezuela, and the Venezuelan immigration arrested them and sent them to Russia. Venezuelan government sucks, man. The Venezuelan government is a freaking joke. It's a horrible, tyrannical, nasty government. And the people of Venezuela are so beautiful. The people, look at Karina, how beautiful she is. She's got a wonderful personality. She's a fantastic person. And she got out of Venezuela to Colombia, along with her brothers. The president of freaking Venezuela has got to go. And there's a $15 million bounty on his head from the U.S. government. Why doesn't somebody in Venezuela cash in on that? That's what I can't figure out. If you have $15 million in Venezuela, you live like a king and queen for the rest of your life, plus your entire family. Let me see. Larry Piercy, never trust them. Mikey, I'm still waiting for Bogota to send me all this information. I emailed them on August 25th. Okay, that's a few days ago. I got an email on the day after saying that they will reach out to me soon. Perfect. But I need for them to reach out to me soon. They will. Mikey, the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia are processing K-1 visas, spousal visas, tourist visas, student visas, diplomat visas, visas from people from Curacao, visas from people from Venezuela, because we got no embassy in Venezuela. So the embassy in Bogota is like one of the busiest embassies in the world. They got a big responsibility, and when they respond back to you within a day, I'm surprised they did. When I sent them an email, they responded back to me 11 days later. 11 days later. You're there, Mikey. You've got this, okay? I know you want to be with your wife, and you will. It won't be long. It won't be long. The interview is on October 8th. That's right. And then your wife's going to be on a plane flying to the United States. And hopefully you will accompany her to the United States. Bring her with you. You come with her. Accompany her. Larry Piercy, Bud knows. Hosias. She found copies of W-2s of 2023, and she has the tax return transcripts of 2023. It should be okay. Perfect. Hosias, that's a Mountain Dew salute. That's all you need for the green card application. 2022 and 2021, you don't need those documents. You just got to write down how much it was on that page, on that 864 where I showed you. Try not to overstress and overthink this process, guys. If you've never done this before, then I understand it's difficult and you don't. But I'm here to give you that. I'm giving you the information for free, so you don't have to be paying these freaking immigration attorneys. So don't be making that car payment for that immigration attorney driving around in his Mercedes-Benz SL 500. Use that money for your family. Okay? I'm not an immigration attorney. I repeat, I don't give you legal advice, guys, but I know this process like the back of my hand. I got 9 years of experience, okay? I've helped people from all around the world come to the United States with their K-1 visas, get their green cards, overcoming notice of intent of denials. I've even called embassies for people. And I'm getting the job done, okay? And I like to see family reunification. I don't want to see you guys separated from each other. It sucks. I understand. I was there. I've been there. Larry Piercy Diego is the U.S. offering this money. The U.S. Department of Justice has, when Trump was president, okay, when he was president, his Department of Justice investigated Maduro and his commander of the military, and they indicted them both, plus a few other people, on trafficking, narco trafficking. He was the head. Maduro apparently, allegedly, was the head of a cartel, whatever. I don't know. It's over my head. But the U.S. government put a $15 million bounty on Maduro's head. They said, for the arrest and conviction of Maduro and his commander of his military, $15 million apiece. So I emailed the Department of Justice and I said, you need to double that reward money to $30 million per person. In fact, I said, don't put a bounty on the head of the military guy. Put the bounty only on Maduro. Leave the military guy alone. Don't mess with him. Leave him alone. Leave the military alone. Put it on Maduro's head and let things fall where they fall. D or A. What is D or A? The Department of Justice under the Trump administration put a $15 million bounty on Maduro's head. It's still there. Reese, hi Diego, and the lovely Karina, my fiance, moved to a new apartment, and the interview is October 8th in Casa. Do we need to report the new address? Also, is the singlehood certification needed? Reese, number one. What country are we talking about? And yes, you need a letter of intent to get married. Repeat it. Casablanca? Huh? In Casa. It's house. Casa is house. What country? Reese, what country? Reese, look at that. That's a super sticker. Look at that super sticker from Reese. Number one. Look at that. Mountain Dew salute. Morocco. Reese, thank you. You gotta keep reminding me stuff, guys. Okay. You need to, you and your beneficiary need to write letters of intent to get married, new letters of intent to get married, and bring them to the visa interview in Casablanca. Whether the consular officer asks for them or not is irrelevant. The consular officer may or may not ask for it. But if they do, you got to have them. Okay? In Brazil, it's mandatory. When you get, if you're watching us from Brazil and you go to your K-1 visa interview at the embassy in Rio de Janeiro, you got to sign a letter of singleness, carteira de solidariedade, carta de solteria, carta de solteria, in front of the consular officer. So if you are watching me from Brazil, watching Karina from Brazil, when you go to your K-1 visa interview, you got to print the carta de solteria and sign it in front of the immigration officer. Every other embassy around the world, I recommend you write a second letter of intent to get married, both of you, the sponsor and the beneficiary, sign them, bring them to the visa interview, just in case they ask for it. Just in case they may not ask for it. They may not. But you know what? The time they ask for it is the time you don't bring it, right? Do you know how Murphy's Law works? If you don't bring the letter of intent to get married, they're going to ask for it. If you don't bring wedding plans to the embassy interview, that's when they're asking for it. When you go to your visa interview, you want to bring wedding plans and you want to bring a letter of intent to get married, new ones, and pictures, recent pictures of you guys together. Beautiful Morocco, North Africa. Besides, my wife just got hired from another job a month ago, so she does not have two jobs. So she has two jobs. She needs a letter of employment of the new job that she got a month ago. She's going to be making $50K. You want to get a letter from each employer. If your wife has 2 jobs, which is well done, very good. She needs 2 letters from 2 bosses for the green card application. And then that way immigration can calculate how much money she's making for 2024. Jaireese, will do. Thank you. No, thank you for that super sticker. Number 1 super sticker. Jaireese. Morocco in North Africa. Bud Garcia, I'm not going to postpone my trip for nothing. Well, let's hope not. Larry Piercy, bros first, Bud. There you go. And Jaireese is happy with the information I put out there. And we're here for you. Look. And Bud Garcia, nope, I'm going to get her. So Bud Garcia lives in Washington State. Okay? Living in Washington State. Let's just say it's not going to be sunny today. Because it rains every freaking day in Washington State, just like it rains every freaking day in England, pretty much, right? So Washington State, their weatherman has a lot of pressure on the weatherman. So the weatherman comes on TV and he says, or she says, let's just say it's not going to be sunny today. Anyway, so Bud's in Washington State, and his beautiful fiancée lives in Thailand, north of Bangkok, and they're going to be reunited soon. He's going to fly there, bring her back to the United States. Now, Bud, when you walk through immigration, you can bring your fiancée into the U.S. citizenship line, okay? Don't be sending her off to the green card line. Number 1, she doesn't have a green card, right? And number 2, she's on a K-1 visa, and you are responsible for her. So you, as a U.S. citizen, take responsibility for your beneficiary, and you walk her through the U.S. immigration line. And it goes a little bit quicker, right? And it's time for some pixie dust for everybody. Pixie dust for everybody, so that you get your, especially Ajali. Ajali, we're trying to get her processing done. I don't know what's going on. You know, I get kind of like irritated when the embassies say they're busy when they're not busy. They just say they're busy, you know. But I can tell you for one thing, the embassy in Bogota, Colombia is one of the busiest embassies in the world. Larry Piercy, correct Diego again, no pixie dust. All right. Josias, Diego, I filled out my G1145 with my information and put the cell phone of my wife. Is that okay? Josias, that's perfect. Because when immigration get your green card package, they're going to open it up. The first thing they're looking for is the money and the right check amount. Now, you don't use your freaking credit card to pay for your green card. Do not use your credit card. Don't do it. Get a cashier's check or fill out a check, personal check. Okay, number 1. Number 2, when immigration cash the check, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to pull out the G1145 and they're going to send you a text message with a receipt number for your green card and a receipt number for your work permit if you decided to pay for the work permit. $260 freaking dollars for a work permit. Don't waste your money. Use that money for something else. Go buy your beneficiary a pair of shoes or something. Don't waste it on a work permit. Just apply for the green card and pay for the biometrics. And it's $1,440 for a grown-up. Okay? $1,440. That's how much it is for a green card application, and it includes the biometrics. You mail the green card application in to, I don't know where you, and then you'll get a biometrics letter. You'll get a letter from immigration. First, you get a text message from the G1145. Then you're going to get a letter from immigration with the biometric schedule. So what's the difference between filing for the K-1 visa and the green card? With the K-1 visa, the sponsor schedules the biometrics or the beneficiary, either or. With the green card application, immigration schedules the biometrics, not the sponsor. Okay? So don't get confused. When you file for the green card and they cash your check, then you're going to be waiting for a letter from immigration with the biometrics interview. Okay? That's what you're waiting on. They're going to send it to you. Let me see here. Diego, I have my vaccination records in the USA. They put all my vaccines into the US system. Do I have to put that record in the adjustment status? I have my I-693 completed and sealed. Yes, include it. But make sure those vaccinations are complete. Go to make sure that if you've got, your vaccinations have to comply. Did the doctor sign off on your vaccinations as being complete for the green card? My records of vaccines are inside of the 693. Okay, that's what I was getting to. Very good. I was wondering if I would also have to put them along in the, no, don't put them in there. If they're in the sealed envelope, if the doctor signed off on it, because you live in Utah, right? Didn't you live in Utah and you had to go to Las Vegas? Didn't you fly to Nevada to go for your medical civil surgeon, or did you go to a civil surgeon in Utah? Where do you live, Osiris? I'm trying to remember where you did this. You did your medical exam in Utah, right? If I remember. I can't remember. I try to remember, but I can't remember everything. Karina, she remembers everything, but I can't. She remembers stuff I did 3 years ago. I don't remember what I did yesterday. I live at Osiris. Yes, I live in Utah, and the health department transcribed the whole record into the United States system. I did my medical exam in Las Vegas. Man, I was right. Mountain Dew salute to Osiris, our friend from Argentina. Osiris, you're good to go. You are good to go. The only thing you got to do is get a joint sponsor. Ajali, thank you, Diego. Pixie dust for Ajali. We got to get this Ajali's moving. We got to get it moving. Okay? And I don't know what's going on. Pixie dust works, though. It does. Hosias, my doctor just sent me the 693 package 3 days ago. Perfect. Ice Alfred. Look at that super chat from Ice Alfred. Appreciate you. Please scroll up in the chat for my question. Absolutely. I did. Now, when they run commercials on here, I miss questions sometimes. Ice Alfred, where are you at? Where's the question? I don't see it. I'm going all the way up. I don't see the question, my friend. I would have answered you if it showed up. It's not showing up in the chat. Let me see. It's not showing up. Ice Alfred, repeat the question, because it's not showing up in the chat. I don't see it. I will answer your question, Ice Alfred. I really will, but it's not in the chat. Do you see it?
No.
Karina doesn't. Karina, she administrates this. She's the administrator. She doesn't see it. Francois, I forgot to tell you this. The medical center also sent me a breakdown of the cost for the exam. Vaccines, if it applies, but also a list of money for the sputum test. The sputum test, I haven't seen them doing them in UAE. I don't see any issues in the United Arab Emirates with TB. The Philippines is a different story. If you've got a beneficiary in the Philippines, don't be surprised if the doctor's office in Manila, St. Luke's Extension, ask for a sputum test. Don't be surprised if they ask for that for our friends in the Philippines. Josias, Diego, would I have a problem if I use A4 type paper to send some documents? You got to put everything on this so they can scan it. It's got to be easily scanned, okay? Whatever you send to immigration, they want to be able to scan it. They got to be able to scan it. Francois, do they do that test in the UAE? No, I have never seen anybody get a sputum test in the UAE. There's no risk. I have not seen any risk of TB in the United Arab Emirates. Isofood, is it normal to not be able to pay for the visa until an appointment is available in Bogota? That's correct. So you got a beneficiary in Bogota, in Colombia. That's perfectly. If there's no appointment available, if there's no slots open, they're not going to let you pay for the visa interview. Okay? But what you need to do is you got to keep checking. And when they let you pay for the visa interview, the $265, remember, you're paying $265 for the consulate fee, not for the DS-160. The DS-160 is free if this is a K1. If you're on a K1 visa, you submit and confirm the DS-160, you print the confirmation page. It's totally free to do that. It's good for 1 fiscal year. The fiscal year ends October 31st. Okay, so the new fiscal year is going to start, which is going to be September, the end of September. So the new fiscal year is going to start in October. So that's how it works. But you got to look for a slot. Okay, you're going to get an appointment in Bogota, probably November or December is what I'm thinking. Thank you. I was concerned I made a mistake. DS-160 is done, just waiting for the appointments to open. Yeah, you didn't make any mistakes at all. You're perfectly good. You submitted the DS-160, you printed the confirmation page. Now you're just waiting for an open slot. You will get one. And I predict probably November, December is when you're going to get it, okay? Whether September, October, November, I would say December, okay? I know it sucks, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news of a long wait time, but I'm giving you the real-time information here, okay? Let me see. Osiris, could I mix in between letter paper and A4? You don't want to do that. You got to make it easy for immigration to scan paperwork. Let me see. Osiris, I got to talk with my father-in-law today and convince him to be my joint sponsor. You need one. You got to have a joint sponsor. He wonders if he's going to be a big deal being a joint sponsor. It's not a big deal. Could you explain how important it is to be a joint sponsor? I need your advice and way to talk to him so I can explain what it is about what I need from him. I don't want him to be afraid of being my joint sponsor. You explain to him that you need your father-in-law to be to give you a high five permission slip to live in the United States. As a joint sponsor, he is saying that he has confidence in you, Hosias, that you will not be a lazy slacker. You're not going to be laying around the house all day. When you get your green card, you're going to find a job and get to work and be productive in America, and maybe one day you'll be a millionaire, right? You got to always think that way, okay? Especially if we get Trump as president, because if Trump becomes president, opportunities are going to be exponential for people to become millionaires if they want to. It all depends on how hard you work and what kind of talent you have and what your intentions are. Okay, you can do it in this country, but you got to tell your father-in-law very nicely that you need him to be your backup. Okay, but as basically sponsor you while you wait for your green card. So when you get a job in the United States of America, then he will no longer be required to be a financial backup for you. Even though technically he's going to be responsible for you for at least 10 years or until you become a U.S. citizen in 3 years. I don't see any problem with you becoming a U.S. citizen because your English is very good. Your English is very good. You won't have a problem with the English part of your U.S. citizenship test, okay? But if I was you, Osiris, I would tell your father-in-law, dear father-in-law, in 3 years, I'll be a U.S. citizen, okay? And that's when your responsibility from me will go away. Okay? You got it? And you tell him you need him right now as backup, just to have confidence in you that you will find a good job when you get your green card. And let it go from there. Isofer, thank you. I was concerned I made a mistake. You didn't make a mistake. And good job on getting that DS-160 submitted. Osiris, I saw a video of someone that put a different marriage certificate in every form. I saw a video of someone that put 3 different marriage certificates in every form because he says that is the correct way to do it. What do you think? What are you talking about? Put 3 different. If you have a K2, okay, let's suppose you come over to the United States and you got 2 K2s and a K1, and now you're applying for 3 green cards. When you apply for 3 green cards, that green card is being produced off of the beneficiary. The K2s are called derivatives. But you got to include proof of the marriage with each green card application. So if you submit a green card application for a child, you got to put the marriage certificate in that separate green card application and pay a separate fee for that child and put in a separate I-94 you're basically creating 3 green card applications if you bring kids over. If you bring 2 kids over, you're going to file 3 green card applications, 3 separate applications for the green card, 3 I-94s, 3 marriage certificates of the marriage to your wife or husband, pictures, proof of each person residency in your house. Okay? Then you put all 3 green card applications in one box and ship it to wherever it is you're going to ship it to. UPS, FedEx, or DHL, but in separate binders. So binder 1's going to be the green card application for Mrs. Binder 2 is going to be the green card application for child number 1. Binder 3 is going to be the green card application for child number 2. And then you put the 3 binders in one box and ship it to immigration. You got it? That's correct. 3 different the marriage certificate's going to be the same, but you're going to make 3 copies of the same marriage certificate. Josias, I also got my birth certificate notarized and translated into English with the Spanish group. You didn't need to notarize it, so you spent $20 for nothing on that. But very good that you got it translated into English because you got an ATA number now. But they haven't given my translation yet. I made the payment Thursday. They will email it to you, Osiris, and you can print it. Osiris, with the 3 different marriage certificates, I mean the same marriage certificate, but 3 copies in every form. That's correct. That's exactly right. Did you just put 1 marriage certificate copy for Karina? Yes. I'm just filing an adjustment of status for me and nobody else. Okay. So when you put your green card package together, Osiris, which I hope you're doing, you're going to put 1 marriage certificate. It's going to be a certified copy from the courthouse. You cannot go to Office Depot and make a photocopy of the marriage certificate. I mean, Karina's marriage certificate is right here in the desk right here, the original certified copy. You got to submit an original certified copy, not a photocopy. Okay? So if you send a copy, if you go to Office Depot and just make a copy, immigration won't accept it. It's got to be stamped by the courthouse and signed by the clerk of the court. Josias, is it a certified copy from my county in Utah is okay? Is original. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. So you're going to have a certified copy for your records, Osiris, in your house in Utah, and you're going to submit a certified copy to immigration for the green card application. Now, if you live in Utah, right? You live in Utah. Is that what you tell me? I remember, I think you said, I got a pretty good memory on Osiris. Let me see. You're going to mail your green card application to Phoenix, Arizona. Okay? Do you want the address? Osiris, do you need the address where to mail your green card application? Osiris, but I'm filing for I-765, so I was wondering how many certified copies I need for the adjustment of status. I-765 is the... Why are you applying for I-765? Why are you doing that? I don't see why you're doing that. All you need to do is apply for the green card. Hold on a second. I'm looking through all my records here. Here it is. Why are you spending $260 on an I-765? It's a waste of money. All you need to do is apply for the green card and the biometrics. I'm doing that just in case that my green card gets delayed for who knows what could happen. Okay, you can do that. That's a good point. It's up to you. It's your money. I'm making a really big, strong case. Oh, you're fine. You're good. I mean, I'm not saying I don't recommend it, but if you want it, if you need it, it's $260. Let me see here. So we got questions answered for Josias. We got our friend Iselford. Thanks for that super chat, by the way. In Colombia, where does your beneficiary live, Iselford? Which part of Colombia does she live in? Karina and I, we lived in Bogota for 2.5 years. Well, Karina lived in Bogota for 6 years. She's from Venezuela. I lived in Bogota for 2.5 years. Josias, my question is, Diego, if I get my job with a work permit, you can do that. And then I get a green card, you will. Do I have to change my documents with my employer? It's up to you. You can if you want. Just go back, but you got to show your original green card. When you apply for a job, your employer is going to want to see your work permit in your hand, the original, the plastic. And then when you get your green card, you can tell your employer, look, now got my green card. I'm a legal permanent resident. Here's my green card. Take the plastic green card and show him. Okay, guys, I've been talking over an hour and 15 minutes almost. I'm going to go ahead and log off. We'll see you. Today's what, Saturday? So we'll be back on Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday. We'll be back on Wednesday. In September, Francois will be closer to her Hammond getting his visa interview out of the way. And Josias gets the last word. I'm also thinking about going back to my country, Argentina, after I get my green card. Why? But I would wait at least 1 year to go back after my green card. Well, I wouldn't travel until you get your 10-year green card, because it's going to hurt you when you become a U.S. citizen. If you leave the country on a 2-year green card, you risk not being allowed back in. Number one. Okay? A 2-year green card is probationary. You move into America to live and become a resident. Okay? Don't travel anywhere until you get your 10-year. If you must travel, if you miss home that much, if you miss Argentina that much, wait till you get your 10-year green card. Francois, thanks for the phenomenal live chat. Always, Francois. I am hungry. It's Tango Ambry. Karina's hungry too. Josias, as soon as I have money, I will give you a payment comment in YouTube. Josias, worry about your freaking green card. Don't worry about sending a super chat. Okay? You don't have a job yet. Focus on your green card. Okay? And with that said, we will see you guys on Wednesday.